Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. You're watching another video from Seerah Masters, developing the Muslim mindset for success. Now look, a big part of mindset is being able to understand new ideas and to communicate your ideas in ways that actually make sense. They get the point across, but also you don't get tricked by people's illogical points that might seem logical. Now this is what this new series, Thinking Straight, is all about. It's about how our brain sometimes takes shortcuts and it makes points that are illogical seem logical, or it makes us try to make points which are very illogical, but because it's easier, we do it. And you're going to see from the very first episode, inshallah, how an example of how this works. So let's get right into the first logical fallacy, which is the straw man fallacy. So the straw man fallacy, you'll see why it's called straw man. Let's dive straight into a scenario. Okay, so person X, he says, look, they're talking about where they should build a new school for the town, right? He says, I think we should put it in this neighborhood right here. I think it'd be a really good idea. Person Y says, I see what you mean, but that area doesn't have much space, and so we'd be confined with where to build it and how big it could be, and so there's a lot of problems, so I don't think it should be there. Person X then says, he comes with the straw man now, he says, oh, typical of you, you don't want it in that neighborhood because that's a poor neighborhood and you don't want to invest in the poor. Now, did person Y say that? No, he never said that. Person X, they constructed a straw man, a fake person or a fake idea. He imposed it on the other guy and he said, look, that's a terrible thing that you've done. You're wrong, basically. So the straw man is when you construct or you reframe your opponent's idea in a way that makes it look ridiculous or makes it look extreme. And the other person finds themselves in a position where they can't defend themselves because they didn't say it in the first place. See, person Y, they never said it shouldn't be there because they're poor people, I don't want to invest in the poor people. But now he's put in the scenario where either he says, hey, look, I'm wrong, it should be there. Or he says, which most people get too flustered to say, is that, no, I don't think it should be there because of the space constraints, not because it's a poor neighborhood. But often people, they get too flustered and they get thrown off many times, and you'll see this. So, you know, why do people do this? It's because it's easier. Okay, it's easier rather than me trying to understand what you mean exactly and then come up with reasons why you're wrong. I'll just create a new enemy which is easy to refute and destroy, and then destroy them, and then go around telling everyone, hey, look, he's wrong, and look how easy it was for me to prove him wrong. Okay, and so I want to go into a real life scenario, a real life example, inshallah, for all of these episodes. And so this is a very easy one to find an example for, because it comes up so often, okay? And the example here is on the news. On the news, you know, some kind of terrorist attack comes up and they bring a Muslim on. And, sorry, the example I thought of was something else. They invite a Muslim on TV to talk about counter-terrorism legislation, okay, like Prevent in the UK. And that Muslim will be against Prevent, okay, the methods of Prevent. Of course, he's only against the methods of Prevent. He's not against anti-terror. He's not for terror, okay? So they'll come, they'll bring him on TV, and then he'll be like, yeah, this is wrong because this, it goes against human rights, blah, blah, blah. Now the TV presenter, what will they say? They'll say, oh, and this is how you know a straw man fallacy is coming up usually. They'll say, oh, so you're saying, when someone says, oh, so you're saying, usually there's a straw man coming up. Oh, so you're saying that you don't want these laws that protect us to be in place, and you want terrorism to be able to happen in the UK. Now that's absurd. He didn't say that at all. He just said that these specific laws are not working. They're not a good idea. They create more terrorists, whatever the reasons. But they put it on him to make it seem like that. Now, if he says, no, that's not what I said, they'll be like, Oh, but you did, because you said that prevent shouldn't be here. So therefore, you're, that's another thing, therefore creating the reason why he said it, when he never said this. You said you don't want prevent, therefore you want terrorism to take place. And you see, this happens so much on the news, and these presenters, sometimes it's an accident in many scenarios, but on the news, often they do it on purpose, and they're trained to use these to make the other person seem stupid, extreme, and easily destroy their arguments, basically. So what can you do to avoid straw man? When you're debating with someone, when you disagree with someone, truly listen to what they're saying, what their points are, instead of just getting the superficial level of what they're saying and then attacking the straw man, not attacking their real points. And also look out for the news, look out for in the media, or even even Islamic debates or Islamic lectures. Sometimes you find these there, okay? So look out for them when you're being fed information, and also when you're talking, make sure that you actually address the other person's points and not create a straw man and then attack those points which the person didn't even say. So I hope this has been useful. Of course, if you're interested, if you're first time here, then subscribe to this channel, because there's loads of stuff about how to design your mindset, design your lifestyle. And also check out the blog, where I have other things which I write up, which is kind of different, more in depth. And there's also some cool free resources to download there. This has been Amin with Sira Masters. Subscribe and let me know what you thought of this first episode. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.